Hello, 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 and welcome to this week's episode of the Confidently You podcast. I'm your host and head coach of Fit Girl Club. My name's Helen. Hi, how are you? Welcome. If you're new here, welcome to the show. And if you're not, welcome back. How are you doing? How are you doing? How is life? I had a week off. I've been away. I've been up in the Lake District. It is literally one of my favourite places on this planet. Now you'd be like, well, Helen, how do you know that? I've travelled a lot and I do love a lot of other places, but the lakes, there's just something about it. It has everything I like. So hills and mountains, we went trail walking, running, the lakes, the rivers, the nature. We stayed at this beautiful little cottage just off Windermere. Now, normally we don't stay Windermere. I do this every year, by the way. You can time your watch by me. Every year I go on my annual trip to the Lake District. It's always over my birthday as well, so you'll know when it is. 19th of June, if you didn't know. I just turned 39. What? 39, what is that about? Anyway, we stayed at this beautiful little cottage near Windermere, and we stayed there because it was near, well, I chose it because it was near some of the areas I want to do some of the recce's for the race I've got in 5 weeks. 4 weeks Saturday. Oh my goodness. Help. Anyway, and it was just off the road, and I didn't realise quite where the location was, and it was right near Windermere. I thought, oh gosh, when I got there, it's going to be so busy. No, not a thing. And it was set back just off the road, and you think, oh, I want to hear all the traffic. No, didn't hear a thing. It's a beautiful little cottage, terraced, and one day we were just making lunch, and Martin comes and he goes, Helen, look. And there was a fox cub in the garden, this beautiful fox cub, absolutely stunning. We saw lambs and owl and all the birds and all the wildlife, and it was just, I was amazing. I was on the lake paddling, and then there's a cormorant. I need to remember names of birds. Martin told me what it was, but I just love being up in the hills, away from it all, proper reset, and I needed it. I needed time away. I love my business. I love what I do. That doesn't stress me. I still worked while I was away. I still kept in touch with my girls and did the check-ins. It's everything else that comes with it, like the marketing, the social media side, and I get sucked into stuff, and I've been getting sucked into politics and policies and stuff, and I'm stopping it. I say this every time, so I did the same thing. If you go back to just after Christmas when I went to Australia, and I came back and went, right, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop getting sucked into it. Now, I don't go on social media as much. I have got a blocker that blocks the app, but I still can get sucked into some politics and just the way the world is. But there's nothing you can do about it. I'll tell myself this again. There's nothing I can do about it. And it's draining my energy. So I'm just going to reset again. I know we're not perfect girls. Sometimes you need to try these things multiple times, like fat loss or dieting or getting fitter. Sometimes it doesn't work the first time, and you need to have a reset and remind yourself why you're doing something and go again. You don't give up. You don't go, oh, this is just the way I am. Absolutely not. Because when I'm away from it all, I'm not in it. Anyway, one of my favourite things is just being on the lake on my paddleboard. My mum and dad bought me a paddleboard last year. Very kind. And nothing else. Got my life jacket on, got my swimming cosy on. I'm just paddling along the lake, and it's like meditation. It is just so tranquil, so beautiful. I'm going to aim to get out a bit more in my local area if I can, because I don't go out as much on it, and I absolutely love it. Just half an hour, just like peace, inner peace. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But also, whilst I was away, we did running. We were running up hills. We did some Wainwrights. We did some walks. I did a 28.5 mile recce of some of the route I'm doing in, I'm going to say, let's still say 5 weeks because it's 5 and a bit weeks. My gosh, it was hard, girls. It's that one of the toughest things I've done. Just the terrain was hard, but I can do it. And it gave me the confidence that if the race was tomorrow, I could do it. I don't think I'd enjoy it tomorrow, but I could do it. So I'm working on a few different things now before the actual go day. So I've got 3 weeks where I can train hard, then I'll taper for 2 weeks. And I'm already back training hard. I've got a focus. I've changed a bit of the way I'm going to do things, but I'll do a full race debrief and I'll talk about all my training and how I've trained for it after the race. So that's 25th of July, if you want to know. I do the Lakeland 50 miles, 50 miles of rocks and hills, and it was great. And I had great fun as well, though, but I learned a lot of things on that day. And that's what you do recce runs for. You learn things so that on race day, you know what to do, you know how to manage yourself. So yeah, fully active holiday. I never used to be this person. I used to be the person that used to want to lie by the beach and do nothing. Not anymore. Couldn't do that now. I like to be active and do things, but caveat that doesn't mean we didn't enjoy lots and lots and lots of yummy food. We stopped at the farm shop on the way up and we stocked up on a week's worth of food. We had one meal out for my birthday. My best mate came up for my birthday, which was amazing. She came up for the night with her dog Lily. We went for a pub meal. I had a pie and chips and it was delicious. I felt so full after that. How people eat that every day, honestly, I felt so full. But during the week, we indulged. We had like full English breakfast, cake, chocolates. We got this gluten-free apple pie from this apple pie bakery in Ambleside. And Mike and I had half each of a normal size apple pie, half each on my birthday, and we'll just like stuff it. So I've come back feeling a bit wibbly wobbly, but the difference with me is I come back and I'm straight back on the way I normally eat because I indulge from a holiday and then I'm like, I've had enough now. Enough's enough. And I like to do it occasionally. We had crisps, we had picky lunches. It was great. But I don't want to do that every day because I felt like a slug by the end. So I'm straight back on it. Literally as soon as I got back, straight back on. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So it's going to be a theme of how to enjoy your holiday without starting again in September. So we all go on holiday. We all enjoy our holidays. And the last thing I'd want you to do is feel like you need to, I'm trying to lose body fat, go on holiday and restrict yourself. We work hard, we work our asses off, save up our money to go on these experiences and holidays. You've got to enjoy yourself. There's got to be some compromise. Now, when you look at my holiday, you're like, Helen, but yeah, you were really active. But I overconsumed in food, trust me. So you've got to have that balance. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So why do holidays create anxiety for women who are trying to lose weight? So this is what I see a common cycle that happens. Someone will come to me and they'll start the journey. Or even before they start, sometimes you'll be on a call and they're like, yeah, I really want to start. I've just got a holiday first. Right, when is it? In 2 months. I'm like, yeah, we're starting now. We start now. Because the way I teach you isn't about not having holidays. I like it when my clients have holidays when they're working with me so that I can coach them through their holiday. Now, this doesn't mean that you're tracking your food on holiday. You can if you want. That's a decision you need to make. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But also, I don't encourage it. You've got to have a bit of this freedom. You've got to learn to trust yourself and to enjoy yourself as well. So a common fear is people say, I've worked really hard and I don't want to just ruin it on my holiday. And this is the all or nothing trap, right? So you're thinking, I'm on a diet and I've ruined it. As soon as you stop that diet, you've ruined it. Whereas with flexible eating, I sometimes hate these words because they sound really woo-woo, but flexible eating is basically where you learn to eat flexibly. So you can enjoy meals out in moderation. Everything's in moderation. But when it comes to holidays, I definitely think everyone should be like indulging a bit. But I'll go over some nuances around that in a minute. But I'd really be disappointed if one of my girls was like, I went on holiday and I was really good the whole time. And I'm like, but life's for living as well. Like, you don't just suddenly start this new lifestyle change and become a totally different person. Look at me, for example. I've been in fitness and nutrition space for, 7 years I've been doing this now. But for 10 years, I've been working on myself. And it's only now in the past, I'd say 5 years, that I can fully indulge and let go, no guilt, and then just come straight back to it. Yes, I have put on a few pounds. I don't weigh myself, but I know I have. I can feel it. I can feel it. Not really on my belly, it's my arms. My arms go first. Look at that. If you're on the camera, you'd be like, oh gosh, muscle. If you have muscle, it doesn't look as, but if I do that, look at that. Now, there's a difference though. I've come back and I'm not restricting. I've not gone straight, but I need to restrict. I need to go. No, you go back to normal, just back into fat loss again. If you're in a fat loss journey, I've gone into fat loss and I'm not normally in fat loss. So the goal isn't perfection. The goal is enjoying your holiday without abandoning yourself. You didn't build your results in a week and you won't lose them in a week or two. You're not going to lose them in a week or two. It's your thoughts, feelings and actions after that count. So the main thing is, if you've got a holiday booked this summer, about control and being in control and feeling in control. So how that looks is different to everyone. And I don't mean like obsessive control, like you need to know every intricate detail of every intricate thing. It's about making a conscious decision and acting upon it. So most people go away and they never set expectations. So are you aiming on holiday to maintain, lose, or simply enjoy yourself? Now, If you go on 50 holidays a year, that's a lot, I would recommend constantly, just enjoying yourself. There has to be some moderation, like if you've got loads of travel and things like that. So that's a bit more challenging. You need to then decide, right, this is a family holiday, week away, we're going to go all in. Or I've got a lot of clients who have like camper vans and go traveling. They still stay in fat loss. I had a client who started with me in March. She'll be listening. Love her to bits. Shout out. And she had a 2-week camper van holiday in France in April. But because she was in a camper van and she could control the food and everything, she stayed in a deficit. She did amazing. And that was her choice, though. I would say with that, though, she goes away quite a lot. So I'd always recommend it's beneficial to, otherwise you're never going to be in a deficit. So that's the choice you make. There's a big difference between intentional choices and careless choices, and having a plan will reduce guilt. You've made the decision and you stick to it, you go to it. It's the guilt sometimes that's the worst thing. So success doesn't have to mean weight loss while you're away. Absolutely not. So I wouldn't ever recommend for most people, unless you're in a camper van holiday or self-catering and you're cooking your own food all the time, tracking calories. Now, you're like, Helen, what? You always tell me to track calories. When you're on holiday, don't. I would recommend, though, being more mindful and being present rather than being obsessed. So having still set meal times, listening to hunger cues, not just eating all day, every day. We don't need this excessive consumption, girls. Like, I know I just told you I've had a week where I've eaten more than I normally would, but I didn't just sit and eat all day. I was still mindful. So I still had like a healthy breakfast, healthy lunch. And then, I still had a healthy dinner usually, but then I'd indulge with a bit of chocolate or a bit of cake or a bit of crisps or something like that, which I wouldn't normally have in my normal diet day to day. It's really hard sometimes if you're going on like an all-inclusive holiday, because we have this, I think it's called the sunk cost fallacy, where you're like, well, I've paid for it, so I might as well have it. Do you ever do this? I used to be terrible for this. I don't do it anymore. I've changed my mindset with it, and that's a choice. You can just change your mindset with it. I used to be like, well, it's free, so I might as well indulge like bottomless brunches or you can eat buffets. I hardly visit any of those. Well, I don't do a bottomless brunch, obviously, anymore. And I can't remember last time I went to an all-you-can-eat buffet because the food quality is not usually as good. If you're a really nice, all-inclusive resort and you've got your main buffet, breakfast, lunch, evening meal, your snack bars, they're open all day. You've got your a la carte restaurants, you've got your ice cream, you've got this. It can just be like a kid at Christmas. I used to work in Sensory Resort, Jamaica, and they had a coffee shop in the reception, like a Starbucks. You could go get what you like, cakes and biscuits and all the coffees you could think of. I did used to just get did I used to get soy then? I think soy makes me ill. Called iced coffee, very nice. But you could just consume all day. And the drinks, never mind the drinks, the cocktails that are full of sugar, calories. So next time you go to an all-inclusive, think of things differently. You still want to think of your health. You still want to think of, like, you're going to put on body fat and we let that go. It's not about fat loss, but it's about health and feeling good. So when you go to the all-inclusive buffet, number one, do a walkthrough first. I don't care who you are. Do not pick up a plate. Put that down. Walk through the buffet and decide what meal you're having. You're going to have one meal. You can have a starter and main dessert if you want, but you're going to have one meal. You're not going to have 60 plates piled up with everything. Most all-inclusive restaurants will repeat stuff or have the same thing next week, but you have to just be like, what do I really want? Think of a meal. Breakfast as well. Fruit, yogurt, and an omelette. Fantastic. If you want a croissant, have it, but not every day. You don't need it every day. It's not as enjoyable either. Have it, twice in the week and look forward to it. An ice cream a day is fine, but 6 isn't. It's about being mindful about your consumption and you will feel better for it. Still have protein, still have veggies, but have some chips as well. I'm making this sound really easy, but for some of you, it's the overconsumption that ruins your experience as well, because it just feels gluttonous and you feel sluggy and then you've had enough. Drink plenty of water. If you enjoy alcohol, enjoy it, but be mindful about it. If you're sinking 20 beers a day, I'm hands up. I used to do this. I quite easily. Cocktails, everything. There are lower calorie alcohols. Prosecco is actually lower calorie, the devil, or clear spirits and mixers. But also you can have a day off alcohol. It's up to you. It's your holiday, but also, it does affect your sleep. Having a day off would be good for you, good for your body. I'm not here to preach about alcohol. As you all know, I'm sober. I've been sober for 5 years, but before that, I was on the cocktails from morning till night. I'd be passed out. dancing on the stage, doing whatever. I've been that person, so there's no judgment from me at all. I'm just saying more for your health and for feeling better and having more energy. So to create simple habits to anchor yourself. So you don't need a full routine. Choose 2 or 3 habits that will travel with you. So examples are having fruit at breakfast, protein with each meal, water before alcohol, daily movement. Daily movement's fantastic, especially when we all love a walk down the promenade, down the beach, joining in the activities, swimming, get involved, do some activity. I like to sometimes just get some activity done in the morning and then relax in the afternoon. So create some habits for stability without restriction. Talking again about buffet management. So why does a buffet trigger overeating? And it's the scarcity mindset versus the abundance mindset. So like I said before, walking around choosing your food, picking your favourites instead of everything. You don't need to treat the buffet like it's closing forever in 20 minutes. It's always going to be there. It's honestly, I get it still as well. As the first day, oh my God, look at all this stuff. But just be more mindful about it. Just because it's available doesn't mean you need it. That is so true. And you'll feel better if you eat loads of fruit and veggies as well, and some of the things you indulge in. I had a client the other week ask me, why, when you have a takeaway the next morning, are you absolutely ravenous? And I knew what takeaway she'd had before I even looked at it. And I knew it'd be a Chinese, because with a Chinese, it's a lot of salt and sugar that doesn't have as many nutrients in. If you're not ordering, I order sides of veg and things when I get meals out of I don't really get takeaways anymore. I cook most of my food myself, but I'll always get a side of veg as well, because a lot of takeaways don't have that much veg in. You think about an Indian curry, it's just the meat and the sauce and then the rice, and it's not actually giving you any nutrients that fill you up. The meat's good with the protein. Sometimes depends what meat it is. Move more, but not to burn calories, just to feel good. So holiday movement looks different. Walking, swimming, sightseeing. Your energy's going to be sapped as well because it's hot. So just be kind to yourself. Blooming hydrate, girls. If you go to Spain, Spanish-speaking countries, Aquarius, get that stuff from the little supermercado. Aquarius is great. It's like electrolytes, but it's got hydration in. When we used to be hungover as reps, that's what we used to get. So that's how I know. If you're in different places, oh my gosh, if you're in the Caribbean, get a coconut milk, coconut water. You can get in Jamaica, so it'll be similar in other Caribbean countries. You can get a tin of coconut water. I can't remember what it's called. And it has the jelly in. They call it the jelly, and it's just basically like the pulp. It's really nice to just chew on. It's really tasty. It's like a bit slimy though, so if you're a bit funny about textures, which I am, so surprisingly I do like it. But remember, movement is part of your holiday experience. Going out sightseeing, walking around. If you're a runner as well, I don't need to tell you to run because you'll already do it. But a great way to see a new place is running around somewhere and looking around a new city or town or area. Just make sure you take loads of water with you. I obviously took my kitchen sink on holiday because I went in the UK, so we drove there. But even when I'm going overseas, when we're skiing, running vest with water bottles in and your snacks. Got to have your snacks. Always take your running vest with water. I do not care, by the way, this is a bit of a side comment, but also it's about holidays and drinking enough water. If you go on a 2K run and you have your running vest on with your water, I'd rather you do that than be dehydrated. People that judge people on wearing running vests can actually just get in the bin. So alcohol and letting your hair down. So you're allowed cocktails. The problem isn't usually one drink. It's how alcohol then affects you, your food choices, your lethargy. You feel tired and worn out because you've not slept properly. So simple ways to enjoy alcohol without overdoing it. Drink water with it. I used to try to do this. I could never do it, by the way. So I'm preaching to the choir here. I'd stop drinking for a reason and choose the occasion that matters the most. I'd also recommend, if you don't have to drink all day, drink at night, unless you really want to. It's up to you. It's your holiday. But I used to, even when I was a big drinker, we'd drink during the day in the sun and you would feel quite bleh after a few drinks. That's a good explanation, isn't it? Bleh. Enjoy yourself without turning every day into a free-for-all. It's the overconsumption. You'll just play it forward, girls. Think how you'll feel. Will you feel like crap? Yes. And if you've got a partner who loves to drink all day, be like, that's fine. I'm off for a walk. I'll meet you back here. You enjoy your day, love, honey. You stay here. I'm off for a walk. I'll meet you back later and I'll have a drink with you tonight when they're probably passed out in the buffet. Why you shouldn't weigh yourself. Oh my God. 1, you shouldn't weigh yourself in life at all. But 2, do not weigh yourself on holiday. Don't weigh yourself as soon as you get back either. Just leave it a week. Get back on track and then leave it a week. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Stop it. No. I'll just, no. No. You'll be annoyed. You'll be upset. I don't care. I'm not weighing myself. I don't need to know. I'll just do all the work and get back to where I want to be. I don't actually weigh myself ever. You will weigh more because you'll have water retention. You'll have inflammation from the flight. Anyone else like me? My feet go like balloons. That's why I wear flight socks, but my hands also swell up. It's hot now, I'm swelling up in the heat. You'll have salt retention, carbohydrates, different routine, alcohol, and the excess fat. Like if you've enjoyed yourself, you've probably put on a bit of body fat, but it's not the end of the world because I'll tell you how you get straight back on it and you will lose it again. There's so many women that panic over temporary weight gain, whereas you need to not like pinpoint that instant. You need to look at the bigger picture. And the scales don't tell the full story either. If you don't do it, but if you get on the scales straight away when you get back after a couple of days of back in your normal routine, you'll lost 5 pounds. Oh my God, I've lost 5 pounds already. That wasn't fat, that was water and excess fluid. So the biggest mistake for most of my clients and most of the women I work with isn't actually the holiday. It's what happens after the holiday, and it's the spiral. And sometimes it's because you're like really tired as well because you've been eating and drinking and relaxing, all these things. Or maybe running after your kids, and holidays aren't actually that relaxing. And you come back, and you're straight back to work, and you're like, I'll just get a takeaway tonight because I'm too tired. I'll go to the gym later, I'm too tired. Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. And and it spirals. That's the hardest bit. It's flipping the switch. If you can learn to flip the switch from holiday mode straight back to health and fitness mode, you are onto a winner, because that's one of the hardest things to do. So you need to draw on the line under it. And I'll start Monday mindset. It's straight back. Like Saturday, I was straight home. I was on it. To be honest with you, Saturday, even travelling back, I made us a packed lunch and it was healthy. And yeah, everything since then has been like, I did finish my birthday chocolates actually. So I'll be honest about that. My birthday chocolates. Starting again Monday just isn't a good mindset to have anyway. And staying in holiday mode for weeks happens. It happens. So you just be like, oh, I ain't got the food and I'll get a takeaway. You haven't done a food shop, you've not planned your meals, and you're skipping workouts and you're not moving. So the damage happens when 1 week becomes 6. And this is what I see. This is a pattern I see a lot. So say you start in January. Yeah, you're doing really well till April. You go on an Easter holiday, fall off. I'll start again in summer. Oh, it's summer. I'll start again in September. Starts again in September. Oh, it's Christmas. I'll start again. And it just is this repeat of the cycle. Whereas if you just go on holiday for, average people go max 4 weeks a year, but 4 weeks a year of the holiday, that's 48 weeks that you can make progress. And you will make so much progress in 48 weeks. What you put on in 4 weeks will not undo the work of 48 weeks. But if you spiral and it turns into 3 months, so you have 3 months on, 3 months off, 3 months on, 3 months off, you'll put all the weight back on, you'll lose it again. Do you see where I'm going with this? That's your yo-yo. So you need to switch your mindset. Oh, I'm busy, I've got a social case and got this. No, we can manage them in. It's just about planning and preparation. So we need the 24-hour reset. So here's some key things to do when you are coming back off holiday. Order a food shop. Have it arriving the day after you get home, the morning you get home, the evening you get home. Maybe not the same day, actually, because if you're on a flight, even if you're off to Spain, if it's delayed, you're screwed. Have something in your freezer before you go. You're in case of emergency meals. Right, we've got them for when we come back. We got back and I was like, we've got salmon in the freezer. It wasn't in the fridge. That'd be disgusting. I'd left some yogurt in the fridge that had a really good date on. We have frozen fruit, different things. Martin did go do a shop as soon as we got back because he does a shop. But we had stuff and we could have tea and we had stuff ready. So be prepared. Be prepared for your return. It's totally off subject, but I do this. I don't know if you can do this if you've got kids and you're busy and things like that, but it's something I do and I absolutely love this. And it's completely off topic, but it might be a little soundbite that you all love. I clean my house before I go away so that when you come back, the house is clean. I didn't do it once a few years ago. And my gosh, when you come back and your house it's not gross, but not clean. I was on a rampage. I had to clean it. I was like, oh my God, this is disgusting. Even though it wasn't disgusting. I always clean my house before I go. Always sweep, hoover, change the beds, quick clean of the kitchen and the bathroom. Perfection. And you come back and you're like, nice clean house. Honestly, girls, life-changing. If you can do that. If not, hire a cleaner while you're away to come do it. So order a food shop. Plan your first few meals before you go away for when you're back. If you're like me, you have the same thing every day near enough anyway, so it's easy. Book in your workouts and get back to your normal routine immediately. So like with my girls, I'd be like, what days you working out next week? So we'd already know you do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you do it. No matter how shit you feel, you do it. You start moving, get up, get back to your normal routine, get back to your normal bedtimes, going to bed and getting up. because they'll have gone askew whilst you're away. Get back to basics, get for a walk, get outside, drink some water, plan your meals. Come on. And if you're tired, tough, just suck it up. You'll be fine. You don't need to detox either. So don't go in the opposite direction where you're like, oh, I need to eat 100 calories a day or do the fast 800 or something stupid like that. Don't punish yourself. It never works because that's binge restrict. You'll then binge. You just go back to what you were doing before. When I see on my girls' food diaries, they have this high calorie day. So say, for example, the calorie is 2,000 and they have a 3,000 calorie day. And I see the next day they're doing a 1,500 calorie or a 1,000 calorie day. I tell them off. I'm like, what's this? Because that is the binge restrict cycle. You just go back the next day. You don't undo what you did the day before. You don't do that. Because otherwise you'll constantly stay in that loop. I look at, well, why did you go over your calories that day? And usually it's a case of they didn't eat enough in the morning, lunch, evening, and then they've eaten a shared bag of Cadbury's Crunchies. There's a pattern. There's a pattern with everything. So don't binge restrict. No, you'll feel like crap. Just get back to normal. Your next meal matters more than your last holiday meal. Oh, this is so true. What's your first meal back? Get some of those in case of emergency meals in the freezer. In the freezer. I don't know if I've mentioned it on podcast, the in case of emergency meals. Yes, I have. But anyway, if you're new here, basically, get to Tesco, Asda, any supermarket, Iceland. Even the Slimming World meals. I do not like Slimming World as a concept, but their ready meals are actually very good. Get to them and get some meals in the freezer so that if all's gone to pot in the day, shit's hit the fan, everything's gone wrong, you have something there so you don't have to go, I'll get a takeaway or I'll just have chicken nuggets and chips with the kids. No, you have this in case of emergency meals. The Slimming World meals are really good because they're actually, if you look at the ingredients, they're just normal ingredients. There's nothing extra added in, no sugar, no salt, I think the ones I had, because I bought them to try and debunk them and be like, these are rubbish. And then I had them and I was like, oh, they're not. That's annoying. How annoying that I didn't get to slag off Slimming World, but their meals are good. The concept is shit. The diet is nonsense, but the meals are good. So, closing thoughts. Holidays are part of your life. You want to enjoy them. Fat loss has to fit around real life. It doesn't work otherwise. If you are not doing something that's consistent and you can't sustain for the rest of your life, you're not doing anything right. If you're doing a restrictive diet where you lose fat, you go on holiday, put it on again, and then you have to lose that all again, you're not doing the right things. It's just about getting back to normal life. The women who succeed long-term aren't perfect. They go on holidays, they enjoy themselves. Actually, I think the women that succeed more are the ones that go on holiday and enjoy, but don't overindulge. They learn to look after themselves better, but they still enjoy ice cream and, all the fancies of some Lay's crisps and some limon Fanta on the beach. Oh, heaven. A baguette filled with meats and that alioli. You get the yellow tub that is, look at the calories next time you're in Spain on that alioli. I can't remember what make it's called. It's something Spanish, obviously. You'll know it, the yellow tub. My good friend Craig Larkin, who I repped with, he used to love getting a baguette in this yellow tub of alioli. Now, back then, I didn't know anything about calories. I knew nothing about nutrition, really. But if I could tell him now, I think it's 1,000 calories. For not even the tub. It's just oil and garlic. But my gosh, taste sensation. A baguette, meats and cheeses and salads, some fresh olives, bit of the alioli, not a full tub, and some Lay's crisps on the beach in the sand with a Fanta lemon. Perfection. I haven't done that in a long time. So the women who succeed long term, they simply return to their habits quicker. So enjoy the food, enjoy the cocktails, enjoy the memories, make some memories. That's what life's for living. Then come home and carry on. No guilt, no punishment, no starting again in September. If you're going on holiday this year, comment, let me know where you're going, what you're doing. I might have some top tips from I was a travel agent as well for 4 years. So I worked 10 years in the travel industry, travel expert. So let me know. And I've travelled the world. I have travelled the world. The only place I've not really been is the Americas, South America, North America, but other places, on a bit of Africa. So I've not really travelled the world, have I? I've done Europe and Asia and Australia. But anyway, hope you're well. Have a great week and I'll speak to you soon.